When you're a kid, you don't really question your reality. You just assume everybody has two gay dads, a rotating cast of ex-boyfriends turned uncles, and spends their summers on a sandbar where people scream about cocktail ice like it's a human fucking right. I did anyway. Hi, I'm Ethan. I was raised in Manhattan, forged on Fire Island, and emotionally sculpted by watching grown men cry over mid-century patio furniture. This is my life, the way it actually happened. Messy, weird, and somehow kind of beautiful. This is Raised Right, Not Straight. Let's talk about Christmas for a second, because it is July and that's what we need to be doing. Not the part with the presents or the cookies or like Silent Night. No, I'm talking about like a photo shoot moment. Because if you grew up in a quote unquote regular family, your Christmas card probably involved a nice family photo, maybe a dog, matching pajamas, and always somebody blinking. But ours was shot in Midtown. No, not like a healthcare CEO, but like with a mood board and costume changes. And in the final year, a full-blown Macy's grade Santa Claus. I'm not even kidding. Because in my family, the Christmas card wasn't just a card. It was a production. It was conceptualized. It had creative direction. There were lighting cues. There was a whole fucking set. And the planning started in July, like literally July. We would be back from Fire Island for all of 14 minutes, and my dad would already be drinking his green tea like it was methadone and scrolling through some Scandinavian design blog like, okay, but what if we did Bauhaus-inspired black and white spread with a splash of crimson to symbolize the fragility of the American democracy? And I'm standing there like, I'm 13. I just want to go watch Degrassi. Like, leave me alone. Every year we had a theme, and it wasn't just wear a red sweater. It was Palm Springs does the North Pole, or postmodern minimalist nutcrack. You know, themes that no child has ever asked to be a part of. And every year it took place in my dad's Midtown office, floor-to-ceiling windows, full view of 6th Avenue, full humiliation. Tourists would literally stop and take pictures of us taking pictures. And no, they were not paparazzi. They were just confused pedestrians watching a teenage boy in a cashmere turtleneck pose next to a spray-painted wicker reindeer like it was a Dior ad for Trump. Now, my other father, he pretended to be above it. He'd be like, can't we just take one normal fucking photo? And then 10 minutes later, he's steaming a cashmere gold fucking scarf and fluffing the fake snow like a closeted elf on cocaine. We always had the same photographer, and it was one of my dad's exes who now somehow was promoted to uncle. Because if there's one thing the gay community does well, it's repurposing exes into family roles they never asked for. He was aggressively positive. He'd say things like, give me jolly, but make it fashion, or pretend like you've never had a depressive episode. And there were always 2,000 photos, minimum, 50 outfit changes, a mid-session breakdown, and me every single time being bribed with a vanilla frappuccino to smile through the madness. I once asked if we could just do it in the park like normal families, and you'd think I asked if we could celebrate Christmas in a porta potty. And my dad was like, do you want people to think that we don't care? Like, yes, I wanted people to think that we were chill, normal, the kind of family that just wore sweaters and stood by a fucking tree. But then the last year, the final shoot, senior year, or maybe the year before, I honestly blacked it all out. I'm already halfway out the door of this tradition, just trying to survive high school and not develop a full-blown Xanax habit again. And my dad is like, this year, we're going to do something special. And I'm like, oh no, what is it, like a fucking camel? He's like, no, a Santa, a real one, hired, paid, brought to the office like a strippergram in a red velvet suit. This man walks in with a sack, a beard, a ho-ho-ho, and a side of what I swear was whiskey breath, and I'm supposed to sit on his lap and look whimsical. Sir, I am 17 years old. I have finals next week. I'm closeted, constipated, and this man just winked at me. I am not okay. I got through it, barely. And that was the last year we ever did it. I think even my dad knew. Like, some part of him realized it wasn't sustainable any longer, that maybe the emotional cost of importing holiday cheer into a Midtown skyscraper with a teenager on the verge of losing it was not worth the cardstock. And also, I think we both kind of knew. I was getting older. It wasn't our thing anymore. I wasn't the cute kid in a bow tie anymore. I was this almost adult who now needed to define what my version of family and tradition was going to be. But here's what I'll say. Looking back, I kind of love that we did it. Even when I was sweating under 12 layers of wool and trying not to cry because the lighting wasn't right for my skin tone. Even then, because my dad, in his overly dramatic, deeply curated, green tea fueled way, was just trying to make magic. To make us look like a family that belonged in the world, not just existed, but shined. He wanted the world to see that we were here, two gay dads, one very over it son, and a whole lot of fake snow, and that we wouldn't be hiding. So yeah, we had one last year, one last shoot, one last moment where the chaos met the love that probably made someone's fridge look like a fucking Vogue spread. And I'm glad we did, because now every time I see a basic ass card with a dog and some flannel and two kids holding candy canes, hurricanes, I think, where's your Santa? Where's your fake snow budget? And where's your trauma? So yeah, it was chaotic, but looking back, half the things I rolled my eyes at were just love dressed up in velvet and fake snow screaming for better lighting. Anyways, that's it for this episode. I'm Ethan, and this has been Raised Right, Not Straight. And remember, if you were raised right but not straight, you're in the right place.